The thermal vents of Etheria City pulsed with a soft, bioluminescent glow, casting long, shifting shadows across the vast, crystalline structures that spiraled toward the nutrient-rich atmosphere. Beneath the colossal fronds of photosynthetic flora, adapted to the deep geothermal warmth, the city hummed with the quiet industry of the Velosapiens, its dominant intelligent species. Their unique architecture, grown from intricate biosynthetics and harnessing geological energies, was a testament to eons of uninterrupted evolution. It was May 2025, and this was a world where the KPG asteroid, the cataclysm that had ended the age of dinosaurs in another reality, had simply missed Earth. Here, the dinosaurs had never died out, instead, they had evolved. 66 million years ago, a colossal asteroid, destined in another timeline to slam into the Yucatan Peninsula, was here deflected by a subtle gravitational anomaly, or perhaps simply passed harmlessly through Earth's orbital path. The resultant impact winter never occurred. The global wildfires, tsunamis, and atmospheric poisoning that wiped out the non-avian dinosaurs and paved the way for the age of mammals were averted. Instead, the planet continued its long, gradual evolution. Non-avian dinosaurs, specifically the agile, bipedal theropods, with their already proportionally large brains and grasping forelimbs, continued to diversify. Over tens of millions of years, one particular lineage, descending from the Trudontids, known for their binocular vision and heightened intellect, began a slow, inexorable climb toward sapience. They evolved further, shedding archaic scales for insulating protofeathers, refining their vocal cords for complex communication, and developing ever more intricate neural pathways. These were the Velosapiens, agile, feathered, bipedal beings with keen, amber eyes and dexterous, three-fingered hands, who became the dominant intelligent species of Earth. Mammals, lacking the cataclysmic opportunity, remained small, mostly nocturnal, and ecologically marginalized, much like Earth's rodents or marsupials, never achieving significant diversity or intelligence. The absence of the KPG extinction event fundamentally altered the course of all life on Earth. The world remained dominated by a breathtaking array of dinosaurian megafauna. Herbivores the size of small mountains grazed vast, ancient forests. Apex predators, descendants of tyrannosaurs and spinosaurids, ruled the land and waters. Mammals continued their existence, but in the shadow of giants, occupying small, specialized niches. As a product of this environment, the Velosapiens developed a deep, intuitive understanding of the complex ecological balance and the rhythms of the great beasts around them. Velosapien technology was shaped by their physiology and environment. Being poikilothermic, though some lineages developed limited endothermy for enhanced brain function, their early cities often harnessed geothermal energy for thermal regulation and sustenance. Their cities were not built over nature, but often into it, vast, grown structures intertwined with ancient forests or nestled within geological formations. Their dexterous claws led to advancements in materials science focused on organic composites and bioengineered structures. Their complex vocalizations and advanced visual perception led to sophisticated sonic technology and light-based communication. The great longevity of their species, many cycles compared to a mammalian year, fostered a slow, meticulous approach to scientific inquiry, emphasizing observational data collection over rapid experimentation. Velosapien society was often stratified, with clans forming around geothermal nurseries or ancient nesting grounds. Their social structures reflected their reptilian ancestry, emphasis on long-term planning, communal rearing of young, and a deep, almost spiritual connection to the planet's geological forces. Their art found expression through intricate patterns of light and sound, often echoing the complex vocalizations of wild megafauna or the resonant hum of the planet's core. Philosophy pondered concepts of deep time, the cyclical nature of existence, and the intricate web of life on a planet ruled by titans. Their history was meticulously recorded, often through chromoglyphs, shifting light patterns that conveyed complex data. Earth's biosphere was strikingly different. Forests comprised unique, ancient flora. Atmospheric composition might have been subtly altered by the long-term respiration patterns of vast animal populations. The planet itself, still teeming with megafauna, was managed by these intelligent dinosaurs, who understood the delicate balance required for sustained existence. They developed advanced climate control networks and atmospheric filtration systems powered by their pervasive geothermal grids. By 2025, Earth stood as a testament to the enduring reign of its original masters. From the crystalline cities of the deep Earth dominion, powered by core heat, to the arboreal settlements of the Cloudwalker clans, who rode domesticated pterosaurs, the Velosapiens had spread across the globe. Vast, untamed wildernesses still teemed with diverse, non-sentient dinosaurian life, often managed and protected by the bio-guardians of this advanced civilization. Global communication flowed seamlessly through sonic pulses and light-based networks, linking a truly global society with a deep, unbroken memory of its ancient past. Chronocartographer Xylos of the Cognitive Guild of Etheria adjusted his multispectral ocular implants, the glowing schematics of the 66-million-year-old stratigraphic layer shimmering before him. He was studying a new set of fossilized imprints, tiny, furred creatures, barely larger than his claw tip, from the archaic mammalian lineage. These were the shadow dwellers, once thought to be a minor ecological footnote, now gaining new significance. Recent geological surveys, leveraging advanced sonic resonance technology, had detected a previously unknown Precambrian geothermal anomaly deep beneath the Earth's oldest crust. This deviation suggested the potential for alternative biospheres far older than previously thought, perhaps even predating the common ancestor of the great dinosaurs and the insignificant mammalians. The shadow dwellers, Xylos theorized, might be a crucial link to understanding these deeper, hidden origins of life, challenging long-held beliefs among his people about their own evolutionary primacy. Xylos, with his keen, amber eyes, had dedicated his cycles to mapping the deep past, driven not just by academic curiosity but by a profound sense of responsibility. He sought to understand the myriad what-ifs of planetary evolution, believing that in charting these alternate paths, his species could better safeguard their own fragile existence. The Precambrian geothermal anomaly was more than a scientific curiosity, it was a profound mystery that hinted at the very roots of their world, potentially revealing vulnerabilities or strengths they had yet to comprehend. He knew that a single cosmic dust particle, a momentary deviation of a trajectory millions of cycles ago, could have changed everything. A different path, a different dominant species. He activated a historical chromoglyph, displaying the ancient records of the great calamity avoided. The visual patterns pulsed with ancestral memories of near extinction, reminding him of the fragile thread of existence. A shiver, both chilling and exhilarating, ran down his feathered spine as he considered the implications of his discoveries. His vast, bioluminescent city of Etheria, nested in a geothermal caldera, hummed with energy derived from the planet's core, a technology perfected over eons thanks to their reptilian resilience and intellectual drive. He felt a surge of resolve. He would not rest until he had deciphered the secrets of this deep Earth phenomenon, convinced that the future of his kind might hinge on understanding the echoes of a past far older than their own. Xylos often mused on the sheer immensity of the cycles he studied. This expanse of 66 million years was not merely a number, it was a chasm of time that dwarfed the entire span of human civilization in another reality. For the Velosapiens, this deep chronology was woven into the very fabric of their being. Their societal structures, their art, their philosophy, all echoed the long, slow rhythms of geological change and biological adaptation. They understood patience in a way that quick-lived mammalian species could never truly grasp. A Velosapien scholar might dedicate centuries to a single line of inquiry, meticulously gathering data, refining theories, and waiting for natural processes to reveal their secrets. This profound connection to deep time made Xylos's work all the more significant. He wasn't just observing history, he was attempting to understand the fundamental forces that had shaped their existence, forces that continued to subtly influence their present. The Cognitive Guild, nestled within Etheria's crystalline spires, was a testament to this enduring pursuit of knowledge. Its vast archives contained millions of chromoglyphs, each a shimmering tapestry of light and sound representing epochs of data. Generations of chronocartographers had dedicated their lives to expanding this collective memory, their unique visual and auditory communication methods allowing for a richness of historical detail that would be impossible for many other species. Xylos himself had inherited the anomalous layers project from his mentor, Elder Cthar, a venerable Velocipedian who had glimpsed the first faint anomalies in the deep crust before his own cycle ended. Cthar had spoken of whispers from the abyssal past, a phrase that had always resonated with Xylos. The shadow dwellers were a particularly intriguing enigma. Their fossilized imprints, usually dismissed as mere curiosities of an insignificant lineage, had taken on new meaning with the discovery of the Precambrian geothermal anomaly. Traditional Velocipedian evolutionary theory posited a singular, unbroken lineage leading from the first multicellular organisms to the great dinosaurs, and then to themselves. The idea of parallel, even predating, biospheres was unsettling, almost heretical to some of the more conservative members of the guild. Xylos, however, thrived on such intellectual challenges. His mind, accustomed to navigating the complexities of multidimensional stratigraphic models, perceived patterns where others saw only noise. The specific location of the Precambrian geothermal anomaly was deep beneath the ancient continental shield of what, in another reality, might have been known as the Canadian Shield. This geological formation, billions of years old, was a bedrock of Earth's history, typically considered inert and unchanging. Yet, Xylos's sonic resonance scans, refined over decades, had begun to pick up faint, rhythmic pulsations emanating from its depths. These weren't tectonic movements, they were too regular, too organic. The shadow dwellers, fossils, found in unusually deep sedimentary layers adjacent to this phenomenon, exhibited characteristics that perplexed conventional paleontologists. Their cellular structures, when analyzed through advanced bioluminescent microscopy, showed traces of an unusual mineral composition, unlike any known surface-dwelling life. Could they have evolved in an environment entirely separate from the main tree of life? Could they have thrived in the unique energy signature of this ancient geothermal deviation? Xylos presented his preliminary findings to the inner council of the Cognitive Guild. Elder Xylos, a master of historical pattern recognition and a staunch traditionalist, voiced his skepticism. Chronocartographer Xylos, his resonant vocal cords vibrated, "Your theories, while intriguing, border on the speculative. To suggest a completely separate genesis of life, predating the Great Emergence, requires extraordinary evidence. The shadow dwellers are an anomaly, yes, but perhaps a relict of some early, failed branch of the familiar tree." Xylos, respectful but firm, responded, "Elder Xylos, the vibrational signatures from this deep earth structure are unlike any known geological process. And the isotopic analysis of the shadow dwellers' organic traces points to an environment far removed from surface conditions. They are not merely different, they are fundamentally alien in their metabolic pathways. What if the Great Emergence was not a singular event, but one of many? What if our understanding of life's origins, vast as it is still incomplete?" His words hung in the air, a challenge to centuries of established doctrine. But Xylos was not seeking to overturn history for its own sake. He believed that understanding these deeper origins, these unseen paths, might hold critical insights for the Velosapiens' own future. The stability of their geothermal energy grids, for example, was predicated on a thorough understanding of the planet's core. What if this ancient source represented a deeper, unquantified energy potential, or conversely, a hidden instability? The implications of Xylos's research extended far beyond academic debate. The Velosapiens, for all their technological prowess and deep understanding of their world, were intrinsically linked to its geological processes. Their cities hummed with core heat, their vast agricultural domes relied on carefully managed geothermal vents for warmth and nutrient distribution. Any fundamental shift in their understanding of Earth's internal mechanics could have profound societal consequences. Furthermore, the concept of unseen paths resonated with Xylos on a more philosophical level. His species owed their very existence to a cosmic fortune, the asteroid's miss. This constant awareness of their near extinction fueled a deep-seated humility, a recognition of the delicate balance of existence. If other forms of sapient life, however archaic or divergent, had existed on their planet, it challenged their unique position. It wasn't about superiority, it was about the fundamental nature of life and intelligence itself. He envisioned a multi-layered Earth, a planet where life had repeatedly found ways to thrive, not just on the surface, but deep within its mantle. This vision sparked both awe and apprehension. Awe, at the boundless adaptability of life. Apprehension, at the thought of what secrets might still be stirring in the planet's depths, secrets that could redefine their understanding of their world and perhaps even pose new challenges. His work was solitary, often requiring him to spend cycles in meditation chambers, projecting his consciousness through layers of geological data, listening to the subtle hum of the planet's core, trying to discern the anomaly's true nature. He used specialized sonic resonators to create focused vibrational fields, mapping the phenomenon with unprecedented resolution. What he was finding was not merely a static geological feature, but something that seemed to pulse. It was a rhythmic pattern, almost like a massive, slow heartbeat. One cycle, while analyzing particularly dense data from the anomaly, Xylos observed a peculiar interference pattern in the sonic resonance. It was fleeting, a transient distortion that didn't fit any known geological or biological signature. It was like a faint echo from a different vibrational frequency, a whisper of a frequency that seemed to momentarily phase in and out of existence. His highly sensitive instruments, designed to detect the subtlest shifts in planetary energies, had never recorded anything like it. He spent weeks recalibrating and rerunning simulations, convinced it was an error. But the pattern, though sporadic, persisted. It was as if, deep within the Earth, there was a doorway, a thin membrane separating their reality from something else. This wasn't just about ancient life, it was about the very fabric of reality. The thought, at first, was overwhelming. The Velosapiens had pondered concepts of multiverses and alternate realities in their philosophical texts, but always as abstract theoretical constructs. To encounter a tangible, if faint, echo of such a concept, emanating from the very core of their world, was profoundly unsettling. It tied into his previous reflections on the asteroid's miss, that single cosmic dust particle, that momentary deviation. What if those deviations didn't just create parallel timelines, but also left faint, vibrating traces that could be detected? He kept this new finding to himself for now. The shadow dwellers and the Precambrian geothermal anomaly were already pushing the boundaries of accepted knowledge. To introduce the concept of interdimensional echoes would be too much, too soon. He needed more data, more irrefutable proof. Xylos's research wasn't just about the past anymore, it was about the very nature of existence. He felt a unique burden, a singular calling to unravel these profound mysteries. He was a chronocartographer, charting not just time, but perhaps reality itself. His vast, bioluminescent city of Etheria, nested in a geothermal caldera, hummed with energy derived from the planet's core, a technology perfected over eons thanks to their reptilian resilience and intellectual drive. The legacy of the unstruck Earth was their singular, magnificent inheritance, a continuous, vibrant story of adaptation and intelligence, played out over eons where humanity never had a stage. He felt a surge of resolve. He would not rest until he had deciphered the secrets of the anomaly, convinced that the future of his species, and perhaps even the understanding of reality itself, might hinge on understanding the echoes of a past far older than their own. The journey into the deep time was just beginning, and with each cycle, Xylos was pulling back more layers of the planet's ancient, enigmatic heart. Days bled into cycles, and cycles into weeks. Xylos's workspace became a cocoon of shimmering chromoglyphs, his multispectral ocular implants constantly recalibrating, his mind immersed in the arcane vibrations of the deep earth. His colleagues, accustomed to his intense focus, largely left him undisturbed, but a subtle undercurrent of concern began to ripple through the guild. Xylos was pushing the boundaries further than any chronocartographer in recent memory. One twilight cycle, as Etheria's thermal vents cast long, languid shadows, a soft chime echoed through Xylos's chamber. It was Elder Corlia, a senior guild member known for her pragmatic approach and her deep understanding of geological engineering. Unlike Elder Xylos, Corlia was open to new theories, provided they held practical implications for the Velosapiens' vast geothermal infrastructure. Xylos, Corlia's voice was a low thrum. Your latest energy readings from the Canadian Shield phenomenon are unusual. My engineering teams are detecting minor fluctuations in the localized geothermal grid. Nothing critical, but enough to warrant attention. Is this related to your Precambrian theories? Xylos straightened, his amber eyes meeting hers. He hesitated, then decided on candor. Corlia's sharp intellect and practical nature made her a valuable ally. Elder Corlia, it is. This deep earth structure is not inert. It's radiating energy patterns that I believe are tied to the shadow dwellers and something far more complex. He gestured to a series of pulsing chromoglyphs that visualized the anomaly's rhythmic heartbeat. I suspect this isn't merely a geological formation. It's active. And recently, I've detected what appear to be transient vibrational echoes, frequencies that don't belong to our reality. Corlia's keen gaze narrowed. Echoes from where, Xylos? I don't know yet, he admitted, his voice a low hum. But they are faint, almost imperceptible. Like a distant resonance from another timeline, or perhaps even another dimension. What if there are others, echoing through the planet itself? Corlia stood silently for a long moment, her feathered head tilted in thought. This was far beyond typical geological research. This touched upon core philosophical tenets that had been stable for millions of years. The Guild's primary directive is to ensure the long-term survival and prosperity of our people, she finally stated. If this anomaly represents a new energy source, it could revolutionize our infrastructure. If it represents a threat, it must be understood and contained. And if it truly touches upon the nature of reality itself, then that knowledge is paramount. She approached a chromoglyph displaying the fossilized shadow dwellers. These creatures, she mused, insignificant in our history, yet they seem to be the key to this deeper mystery. What is their connection to these echoes? I believe they evolved in symbiosis with this ancient energy source, Xylos explained, thriving on its unique energetic output. They are proof that life can adapt to conditions we once thought impossible. They represent a path not taken, a biological divergence within our own planet's history, perhaps even a gateway to these other frequencies. Corlia nodded slowly. Your work is no longer solely academic, Xylos. It has immediate, tangible implications. I will speak to the High Council. We need to allocate more resources to your research, and perhaps form a specialized task force. But be warned, Xylos, such revolutionary concepts will face considerable resistance. You'll need more than just fascinating theories, you'll need irrefutable data. Xylos felt a surge of validation. He wasn't alone. Thank you, Elder Corlia. I understand the risks. But the potential rewards, the knowledge we might gain about our world, our origins, and perhaps even the very nature of existence, it's worth the risk. With Corlia's backing, Xylos gained access to new resources, enhanced sonic arrays, advanced bioluminescent analyzers, and even a small team of junior chronocartographers. His workload expanded exponentially, but so too did his understanding. He began to map the deep Earth structure in 3, 4, even 5 dimensions, incorporating temporal and vibrational data. The heartbeat he had detected resolved into a complex rhythmic pulse, a cascade of energetic signatures that seemed to communicate, albeit on a geological scale. The transient echoes of other realities became more frequent, slightly stronger. He noticed that they peaked during specific planetary alignments, suggesting a subtle gravitational or energetic interaction with other celestial bodies, perhaps even faint echoes from distant realities that were gravitationally similar. It was a dizzying thought, stretching the limits of Velocipedian cosmology. One momentous cycle, after weeks of uninterrupted data collection, Xylos achieved a breakthrough. He managed to isolate and amplify one of the anomalous echoes. It wasn't a sound, not exactly, but a complex vibrational pattern that, when filtered through Velocipedian sonic interpreters, resolved into faint, almost subliminal images. They were fleeting, distorted, but unmistakably of another Earth. He saw glimpses of colossal, feathered beings, much like his own kind, but subtly different in their proportions, their coloration. He saw structures, not of biosynthetics and light, but of rigid, metallic forms. He saw glimpses of life that seemed to move faster, frenetically, than anything on his own world. And then, the most startling image, a fleeting glimpse of bipedal creatures, furred and small, wielding crude tools and inhabiting structures that were entirely alien to his experience. Humanoid. A profound chill permeated Xylos's scales. It was not just an academic curiosity anymore. It was a window, however opaque, into a reality where the KPG asteroid had struck. A reality where mammals, the shadow dwellers, had risen to dominance. The sheer alienness of it, the raw implications, left him momentarily breathless. He knew then that his findings couldn't be contained. This wasn't just about the Precambrian anomaly or the shadow dwellers. This was about their place in the cosmos, about the countless paths reality could take, about the profound fragility and infinite potential of existence. The Velosapiens, proud masters of their continuous history, were but one magnificent iteration among countless others. News of Xylos's amplified echoes and the glimpsed alternate reality spread rapidly through the cognitive guild and beyond. Initial skepticism gave way to a mixture of awe, fear, and profound philosophical debate. Elder Xylos, initially dismissive, was among the first to witness the clearest echoes Xylos could generate. His amber eyes, usually so impassive, widened in utter astonishment. "The unstruck earth," he rumbled, "we have been given a unique grace. But to see what might have been, it changes everything." The High Council convened in emergency session. Kolya presented Xylos's findings with precise, undeniable data. The implications were vast. The anomaly, far from being a threat, might be a stable, ancient energetic node, potentially offering a sustainable, clean power source far exceeding current geothermal grids. The existence of the shadow dwellers as an ancient, divergent lineage, and the echoes of mammalian dominance, forced a reevaluation of Velosapien evolutionary theory, potentially inspiring new avenues of biological research. The concept of parallel realities, no longer abstract, offered profound insights into the nature of space-time and causality, reshaping Velosapien cosmology and philosophy. The Velosapiens, with their long lifespans and patient, observational approach to science, were uniquely equipped to process such monumental discoveries. There was no widespread panic, but rather a profound shift in perspective. Their innate humility, cultivated over eons of sharing a world with titans, allowed them to absorb this humbling truth: they were not the only possible path, but one of many. A new era of exploration began. While Xylos continued to probe the depths of the Precambrian geothermal anomaly and refine the reception of interdimensional echoes, engineering teams began cautiously investigating the energy potential. Bio-Guardians started re-evaluating the Shadow Dwellers' sites, seeking to understand their ancient ecology. Philosophers and artists began to integrate the concept of unseen paths into their works, creating stunning chromoglyph symphonies that depicted the kaleidoscope of possible realities. The city of Etheria, already a marvel, now pulsed with a renewed sense of purpose. The soft bioluminescent glow of its thermal vents seemed to carry the echoes of a million possibilities, a testament to the enduring reign of its original masters and the boundless wonders that still awaited discovery, both within their world and beyond. Xylos, the chronocartographer, had not just charted the past, he had, in his quiet, meticulous way, opened a door to an unimaginable future, proving that even on a planet 66 million years removed from a cataclysm, destiny could always hold another surprise.